So I think I got my OneNote again. So I copied and pasted the definitions and operations written on PPT here. Okay. So after that, we were discussing adjoint and determinant of a matrix. So before going to that, let me write down two more definitions which are related to you, which are needed for the course. Okay, so we discussed some symmetric matrix, skew symmetric matrix, and then Hermitian matrix and skew Hermitian matrix, and some properties. Okay, so write down next definition. Write down the next definition. Next definition is called next definition is orthogonal matrix. Okay, next definition is orthogonal matrix. So fifth one. So can you tell me the definition? Can you recall? When can you say matrix is orthogonal?
A into A transpose is
A
equal
into
to
I.
Right, A transpose A equal to identity.
I.
In that case, we say the matrix is orthogonal. So can you provide some examples? Can you give some examples of orthogonal matrices?
Identity matrix.
So that's a easy example, right? Identity matrix. Any other? I'll write down few matrices. Okay. Cos theta, sin theta, minus sin theta, cos theta, or 1 by root 2 minus 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2. I'll write one more example. I'll write it as 1 by 3, 2 by 3, 2 by 3, 2 by 3, 1 by 3, minus 2 by 3, minus 2 by 3, 2 by 3, minus 1 by 3. So I wrote few examples, a few of orthogonal matrices. Some are 2 by 2, some are 3 by 3. So I am telling that these are all orthogonal matrices. How do you check whether they are actually orthogonal or not? First matrix, it is easy. I into I transpose equal to I transpose into I equal to I. That is fine. How do you check whether this is orthogonal or not? You will substitute in LHS, right? You will, if you consider this as matrix A, you will find out A transpose, and you will find out A into A transpose. And if the resultant matrix is identity, you will say it is identity. Am I right or not? So for all these matrices, if you really want to check whether they are orthogonal or not, you have to evaluate left hand expression, either A transpose or A transpose A, and see if you are getting the identity matrix or not. If you are getting identity matrix, so then the matrix will be orthogonal, otherwise not orthogonal. But there is one more way of identifying whether the given matrix is orthogonal or not. Just have a close look at these examples, and if you can identify any common properties, let me know.
Maybe the determinant is 1.
Yeah, determinant is 1, but finding determinant will take time, no? Yeah, that is okay. But any matrix having determinant 1, can we call immediately as orthogonal?
Not necessary.
So though the determinant is 1, result is there, that may not be useful for us to identify whether the matrix is orthogonal or not, right? So any
Sum
other
of
Row
squares is
vector is unit vector.
somebody was telling,
sum
Row
of squares
vector
is
is the
one.
unit vector.
which one is unit vector?
Row or column, whatever.
Okay, so you identified that columns are unit vectors, right? What do you mean by a unit vector? Vector having unit magnitude is said to be unit vector. How do you find out the magnitude of a vector? Under root
Principal
of
diagonal elements are same.
vector. How do you find out magnitude of a vector? Ai bar plus bj bar plus ck bar. What is its magnitude? Under root of a square plus b square plus c square. Under root of sum of squares only, no? So so under root of 1 square plus 0 square is 1. Under root of 0 square plus 1 square is 1. Under root of cos square theta plus sin square theta is 1. Under root of 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 is 1. Under root of 1 by 9 plus 4 by 9 plus 4 by 9, 1. Okay. So magnitude of each column vector is 1. Therefore, you can see that all the column vectors in a orthogonal matrices are 1. Property of an orthogonal matrix. Okay. So if somebody asks you which one of the following vectors are orthogonal, so what should be the first? So how do you check? First, you see the magnitude. And identifying the magnitude is 1 or not is very easy. If any column vector is not having magnitude 1, can it be orthogonal? Can it be orthogonal? No.
No.
That is having
No.
unit magnitude of column vector is the necessary condition. But will it be sufficient? It may not be sufficient. You have to make the second check. What could be the second check? Again, closely observe the columns. Can you identify any relation between the columns? This is one column vector, this is another column vector. This is one column vector, another column vectors. These are three column vectors. Do you identify any relation between these column vectors?
Dot product is 0.
Very good. Dot product is 0. You see, this is one column vector, this is another column vector. What is the dot product of these two vectors? 1 dot 0, 1 into 0 plus 0 into 1, 0. What is the dot product of these two vectors? Cos theta sin theta minus sin theta cos theta, 0. What is the dot product of these two vectors? 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2, 0. What is the dot product of these two vectors? 0. Dot product of these two vectors, 0. Dot product of these two vectors also 0. So what is the second observation? Any two column vectors are, when the dot product is 0, then what are those two vectors are called? Perpendicular vectors.
Perpendicular.
What is the other name for perpendicular?
Orthogonal.
Orthogonal.
Can you see that? Okay. So what is the result in an orthogonal matrix? Okay, each column vector is a unit vector and any two column vectors are mutually orthogonal. So if any one condition fail to satisfy, then definitely it is not going to be orthogonal. So I can give you some 4 by 4 matrices, 4 choices. Which one of the following is orthogonal? Then identifying whether it is orthogonal or not using the definition is very difficult, because if I give you 4 by 4 and if you have to multiply A into A transpose, will take so much time. In competitive examinations, you may not have that much time, right? So instead of doing that, what you do, you just observe the column vector magnitudes. If you identify any column vector magnitude is more than 1, you eliminate. If all column vector magnitudes are unit 1 or having unit magnitude, then you make the further check whether every pair of column vectors are mutually orthogonal or not. Okay, so write that as a result. Okay, so what is the note you have to write down? What is the note? All of you write on your notebooks. Okay, in an orthogonal matrix, in an orthogonal matrix, okay, each column vector is a unit vector. That is, each column vector has having magnitude 1, right? The next observation we did. Okay, any two distinct column vectors are mutually orthogonal. That means their dot product is zero. Okay, so that is the property. Right. So next definition similar to this. What could be? Do you remember? Orthogonal. After orthogonal, we have anyone?
Involuntary.
Unitary matrix. Anyone remembered a unitary matrix definition? A power theta equal to A power theta A equal to I. Similar to that of orthogonal. Instead of transpose, generally orthogonal matrices are referring to real, unitary matrices are referring to complex matrices. Okay, so I'll just write one example. Try to construct some more examples like this. A equal to 1 plus I by 2 minus 1 plus I by 2 minus 1 plus I by 2, next 1 plus I by 2, 1 minus I by 2. Okay, so so try to see if you can get any property similar to this previous discussion on it. Okay, I didn't find I didn't observe any property. I didn't look into the properties of column vectors on unitary. You just make a try, and if you find out anything, you let me know your observations. We'll discuss. Okay, so that is about unitary matrix. And can I say that can I say some more points? So far we discussed about symmetric, skew symmetric, Hermitian, skew Hermitian, orthogonal and unitary. So if let me type. Every real symmetric matrix. Every real symmetric matrix is Hermitian. Do you agree with this statement? Every real symmetric matrix is Hermitian. What do you mean by real symmetric matrix? There are two words: real, symmetric. Real, symmetric. Real matrix means what? All entries must be real. Symmetric matrix means what? A transpose equal to A. So if A is real matrix as well as symmetric matrix, I am telling that it is a Hermitian matrix. What is the condition for a matrix to be Hermitian?
A power theta equal to A.
A power theta
Diagonal
must be
should be
equal.
real.
A power theta must be equal to A. So we'll check whether A power theta equal to A or not. What is A power theta? A power transpose. Am I right? But what kind of matrix I am telling? A is real matrix. For a real matrix, what will be A bar?
A.
A only, because
A.
for real numbers, conjugate of a real number itself is A transpose. But what is A transpose? What kind of matrix I am assuming?
A.
Symmetric matrix. For a symmetric matrix, what is A transpose?
A.
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 Now you are observing that A power theta equal to A. If A power theta equal to A, then what is that matrix called?
Hermitian.
Hermitian. If A power theta equal to A, that matrix is called Hermitian. Do you agree?
Yes.
Right. So in a similar way, can I say that every real skew symmetric matrix would be
Skew Hermitian matrix.
skew Hermitian matrix. Okay, because for a skew Hermitian, A power theta must be equal to minus A. Now if you observe here, A power theta equal to A bar transpose, and A bar is A because it is a real matrix, and A transpose equal to what will be A transpose? Minus A, because I am
Minus A.
assuming that skew symmetric. I am assuming that skew symmetric. So A power theta equal to minus A means what? That is called as skew Hermitian. If A power theta equal to minus A, that matrix is said to be skew symmetric. Therefore, every real skew symmetric matrix is skew Hermitian. Okay. What could be the other result I can say? Every real orthogonal matrix. Every real orthogonal matrix is what? Can you tell me? What could be every real orthogonal matrix? Is unitary. Agreed? Now, what is the definition of unitary? A power theta must be equal to I.
Identity
Power theta.
What is A power theta? A bar.
whole transpose.
But what is A bar? I am considering real matrix.
A.
Therefore, for A, so it has to be. It has to be A transpose. But what is A transpose? I.
Identity matrix.
Because I am considering A is an orthogonal matrix.
Orthogonal matrix.
Therefore, A power theta equal to means A has to be unitary.
Real.
A has to be unitary. A power theta I means A has to be unitary. No, so every real orthogonal matrix is unitary.
Unitary.
Agreed?
Yes, sir.
And one more point I can add. If A is Hermitian, Then what can you say about IA? I into A? If A is Hermitian, can I say that IA is Q Hermitian? Just check. I'm assuming that A is Hermitian matrix. What do you mean by Hermitian matrix? A power theta equal to A. So I'm claiming that IA is Q Hermitian. If I want to say some matrix is Q Hermitian, let us for the time being call B as IA. So if I want to say that B is Q Hermitian, B power theta must be equal to minus B. Am I right? But what is B? B is
IA.
I'm considering so IA power theta. What is IA power theta? What is IA power theta?
I into A
I
constant
into A power
full
theta.
transpose.
Wrong. What is KA power theta?
A power theta.
K bar.
A bar into A power theta. Therefore, it has to be. So please remember the properties. Therefore, it has to be. This has to be I bar into A power theta. But what is I bar?
Minus I.
Minus A. Sorry, minus I. I bar is minus I. What is A power theta? What kind of matrix I am considering? Hermitian. For Hermitian, what is A power theta? What is A power? A. So what is minus IA actually? Minus IA I am considering IA I am considering it as B. So you are getting it as minus B. So B power theta equal to minus B means what is B called?
Skew Hermitian.
B is nothing but IA. Therefore, if A is Hermitian, IA will be.
Skew Hermitian.
Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
So that is the result. And what about if A is Q Hermitian? If A is Q Hermitian,
IA is Hermitian.
A is Q Hermitian. Then IA is Hermitian.
Hermitian.
Is that okay? Now, what could be the determinant of an orthogonal matrix? Though we haven't discussed determinant with the assumption that you know already, then you tell me the determinant of an orthogonal matrix. Tell me what could be the determinant of orthogonal matrix?
1.
Wrong. Orthogonal means what? AA transpose equal to I, no? Apply determinant on both sides. When I apply determinant on both sides, modulus of AA transpose equal to modulus of I.
Plus or minus 1.
Right. So this is det A into det A transpose equal to 1. But det A transpose is det A. See, det A whole square equal to 1 means what will be det A?
Plus or minus 1.
Plus or minus. So what should I write here? Determinant of an orthogonal matrix is
Plus or minus 1.
plus or minus 1. Okay. What could be the next result? The determinant of a unitary matrix. What could be the determinant of a unitary matrix? The determinant of a tell me what could be the determinant of a unitary matrix? Unitary matrix means what?
A into A bar theta is equals to I.
A into A power theta equal to I. Apply modulus on both sides. Mod A power theta equal equal to mod I. That is mod A into mod A power theta equal to 1. But what is A power theta?
A bar into whole transpose.
A bar
Whole trans.
A bar transpose determinant equal to 1. But you know det A equal to det A transpose, that therefore I can write it as mod A into mod A bar equal to 1, because transpose determinant and A bar determinant is same. But what is determinant of A bar? Determinant of A bar is det A whole bar equal to 1. But what is det A whole bar? What is so determinant can be complex number. So if you consider this as Z, this will be Z bar equal to 1. So with ZZ bar equal to 1 means what?
Complex number.
What do you mean by ZZ bar equal to 1?
Mod Z
Mod-
square.
Mod Z whole square equal to 1.
Mod
So
modulus.
mod Z whole square equal to 1 means what? What is modulus of Z?
Modulus of a
Mod
complex
Z whole
number.
square equal to 1. Mod Z whole square equal to 1. Then what is mod Z?
Plus or minus 1.
Think again.
Complex number.
Yeah. Say again.
Plus 1.
Complex. Z is a complex number.
Mod Z whole square equal to 1. Therefore mod Z equal to plus or minus 1 or 1?
Plus 1.
Plus
1.
Plus 1 only, no? Because modulus can never be negative. So mod Z equal to 1 means what? It is the complex number lying on the unit circle. That means the magnitude of the complex number is 1, or you can say it is of unit magnitude. Okay, Z is nothing but what? See here, Z is nothing but A. So mod A equal to 1, det A equal to 1. Okay, therefore, so it is of unit magnitude. Okay, so I should say the determinant of a unit matrix is of unit magnitude. Okay, so these are some of the properties, okay, on unitary, symmetric, skew symmetric matrices. Okay, now we'll come back to the discussion on what is it, determinant. Okay, we'll just quickly complete the discussion on determinant and its properties. With that, the review of matrices will be over. Then immediately we can discuss row and rank of a matrix. Okay, so now some more types of matrices. Now some more operations on matrices, right? Operations on matrices. So we were discussing about submatrix, and I said a matrix can be square or non-square matrix, but its submatrices can be square or non-square submatrices. You can always get square submatrices or non-square submatrices from any given matrix. After that, we were discussing about how to define about determinant of a square matrix. Okay, so this is some more operations on square matrices. Okay, because determinant, adjoint, all these things to be applied on only square matrices only, no? So we'll see what is determinant. Determinant is actually a recursive definition. Okay, determinant is actually a recursive definition. So determinant. Determinant. Suppose if A is a matrix of order 1 by n. Okay. Let's say matrix of order 1 by n. Then how do we define determinant? That A equals to A11. It is a matrix of order 1 by 1. Then how do you define det A? Det of A. Det A is equals to, you denote this like this. So what is determinant of a 1 by 1 matrix? We define it as the entry itself, A11.
A1.
Okay. So now assume that A is a 2 by 2 matrix. What is the general form of a 2 by 2 matrix? A11, A12, A21, A22. Okay, let us define determinant with a formula. Then from 3 by 3 onwards, we'll use another way of defining. Okay, so then how do we define determinant of A11, A22 minus A12,
Minus
A2.
A12, A21.
Okay, let me write down 3 by 3 matrix and then generalize to n by n matrix. Okay, just be patient enough. A equal to 3 by 3 matrix, A11, A12, A13, A21, A22, A23, A31, A32, A33. Now how you are defining determinant of A, you know how to define. I'm just writing that. So this is nothing but A11. What you are doing, you are putting the determinant by deleting the first row and first column. You are deleting the first row and first column. The resultant submatrix, you are finding the determinant. Okay, so that means what? A22, A23, A31, A33. After that, you are writing minus A12, and you are writing the determinant of the submatrix by deleting second column and first row. That means what you are getting, you are deleting second column and first row. Then the resultant submatrix is going to be A21, A23, A31.
It's A32.
Which one?
A32, first one. First
One is A32, correct.
32.
First
32.
one is A32, correct. So next one is A13. By deleting first row and third column, the resultant matrix is going to be A21, A22, A31, A32. That is how we write the determinant. I agree. Okay. So what can I call this determinant with respect to this element? This determinant with respect to this element, what is that name?
Minor.
Minor. So instead of writing all this expression, I can simply write it as A11 into, what is the minor of A1 notation? M11. Am I right?
Yes.
Minus A12 into, what is this determinant actually?
Minor of
Minor of A12. So this M12 plus A13 into, what is the third? Minor of
M13.
A13.
M13.
So can I write this as A11 into minus 1 whole power 1 plus 1 into M11 plus A12 into minus 1 whole power 1 plus 2
1 plus 2 into
M12 plus A13 into minus 1 whole power 1 plus 3 into M13. Can I write like this?
Yes, sir.
Now what is
Yes,
this
sir.
expression called?
Cofactor.
Cofactor of A11.
A11.
Cofactor of A12.
A12.
Cofactor of
Cofactor.
A13.
A13.
So what is the notation for cofactor? Capital A11 plus A12 into capital A12
Capital A12.
plus A13 into.
Capital A13.
Is that okay? So what is the definition of definition of a determinant? You take a row. In that row, take a element and multiply with its cofactor. Take next element, multiply with its cofactor. Take the next element, multiply with its cofactor. Take the sum. Is there any specialty with first row? You can select any row.
Any row.
Or you can select any column. So instead of writing like this, what I can write it as, if I am selecting second column, how do I write down now? A12 into capital A12 plus A22 into capital A22
Capital A22.
plus A32 into capital A32.
Capital A32.
Is that okay? So so I can select any row or any column. If I am selecting row, how do I write in sigma notation? Sigma summation. Which one is varying? Row is fixed. First row is fixed here. Column is changing. First column, second column, third column. Right? So J runs from
1
2,
to
3. A
3.
I is fixed.
Oh.
Aij into capital Aij. In this case, what is I? 1.
1.
Okay. So in the same thing, here which one is changing? Which one is fixed? Second column is fixed. I selected second column. Row number is changing. See 1, 2, 3. I is changing, right? Therefore,
Yes.
I varies from 1 to 3. 1 to 3. Aij. Aij. In this case, j equal to 2. In the previous example, j equal to 2. And that is the definition of a 3 by 3 matrix. What would be the definition of a n by n matrix?
I
J equal to 1 to n.
Here J is equal
1
to
to
1
n.
to n.
1 to n. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
So that is how find the determinant of a square matrix. Okay. So you just take any row or any column and multiply each element of that row with the corresponding cofactor and add. Okay, and there are several properties and determinant, like determinant of AB equal to det A into det B, and so on, right? So you can just refer those properties to your from your intermediate and make a list of those properties in your LMC notebook. Okay, so I'll be writing only few of the properties. Okay, so if determinant is 0, then what is that matrix called?
Null matrix.
If determinant is 0, I'm not taking A equal to 0, det A equal to 0. A is called
Singular matrix.
singular matrix. So what do you mean by non-singular matrix?
Det A is not equal to 0.
Not equal to 0.
Det A not equal to 0, they are said to be non-singular, right? Both are equivalent statement. Det A not equal to 0 means A is non-singular. Okay. And what is det AB? Det A into det B. Am I right? Det A into det B. Fourth one, det A transpose equal to
A.
det
Det
A. Next, what is det KA?
K times of det A.
No. K power n into det
into
A.
det A.
Det A.
When will be k times of det A? If any row is having some k as a factor, right? Something like first row contains 2, 4, 6. Then you can take 2 common, write down outside the row. No, det k equal to det k power into det A. What could be det of adjoint A?
Det adjoint.
Det A power n minus 1.
Det A power n minus 1. What is the
N
adjoint A actually? How do you define adjoint A now? It is a transpose of the
Transpose of cofactors.
cofactor matrix.
Cofactor matrix.
Okay? Nothing but the transpose of the cofactor matrix. So what else? So like this, there are several other properties. No, so just list out. Okay, if any two rows are identical, determinant will be 0.
0.
If any two columns are identical, determinant is 0. Okay, and if you interchange two rows, then the resultant determinant has to be multiplied with the
Minus.
minus 1. Am I right? And the row operation is allowed. That means C1 gets C1 plus 2 times C2. R1 gets R1 plus 3 R3, like that. Row operations does not change the value of the determinant except a row interchange. If you are interchanging the row, you have to multiply with minus 1. So like that, there are some several other properties, no, and those properties are important. Just go through it and add remaining properties and determinant also here. Is it okay?
Okay.
Okay, I'll just discuss the last operation. What is it called? Inverse. Okay, so how do we define inverse of a matrix? So this is also some more operations. How do we define an inverse of a matrix? Tell me.
Adjoint A by
I'm
adjoint
not
A by
I'm not asking the formula to compute A inverse. I'm asking what do you mean by A inverse? When A inverse exists.
Into A inverse is I.
A is non-singular.
Or a non-singular matrix.
Again, that is again a necessary and sufficient condition for a matrix to be invertible. I'm asking the definition. Okay, I will write like this. Okay, suppose A and B are two square matrices of order n. Suppose A and B are two square matrices of order n. Okay, then B is said to be inverse of A. If, tell me.
AB equal to I.
AB is equal to BA is equal to I.
Correct. AB equal to BA equal to I. That is how you learnt in on numbers, no? Two numbers, AB equal to BA equal to 1, then B is called multiplicative inverse of A. Instead of number, you are having matrix. Okay. So what is the notation? In that case, B is denoted by
A inverse.
right. B is denoted by A inverse. Is it okay?
Yes.
So therefore, A into A inverse equal to A inverse into A equal to I. A. Now the point is when A inverse exists.
A is non-singular.
Right. Now you can say the necessary and sufficient condition for A inverse. Okay. So A inverse exists A inverse exists if and only A is non-singular. What do you mean by non-singular? Det A not equal to
0.
0.
0.
Now if A is inverse exists, then what is the formula for A inverse?
Adjoint A by det A.
Joint A by det A.
How did you get that? Can you explain? We know a property A into adjoint A. What is A into adjoint A?
Det A into I.
Det A into
I.
I. Now apply by determinant on both sides. Determinant of A into adjoint A
Adjoint A.
equal to determinant of det A into I. Okay. Now this is what det A into det adjoint A equal to what is this?
Det
Det A whole cube.
Det A whole power
3.
N.
Det A whole power n into det I is 1. Okay, I think all these things are not necessary. No, this is a formula to derive determinant of adjoint A, right? Determinant of A for n minus.
det A whole power n minus 1.
Yeah. So here, in this case, to have the formula, I can just simply divide both sides with 1 by det A, right? Because A inverse exists, it means det A not equal to 0. That means I can write it as 1 by det A into A. I can write it as A into 1 by det A into adjoint A equal to I. So this is in the form A into B equal to I. A into B equal to I means what? B equal to no.
Yes.
What is B? 1 by det A into adjoint. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So you can add this property determinant of adjoint A equal to det A power whole power n minus 1 in the previous one. I think we have written this already. Okay. So these things can be deleted. And write the formula for the formula for the inverse as A inverse equal to
Adjoint A by det A.
1 by det A into adjoint A. And is this the only way to compute the inverse? Up to what order this is easy to apply this formula? Up to third order only, no? If it is fourth order or fifth order, applying this formula manually is quite difficult, right? So what are the other properties? A inverse whole inverse equal to
A.
What is AB whole inverse?
B inverse
into A inverse.
to A inverse.
What is det A inverse?
1 by det A.
By
Det A
det
whole
A.
inverse. That means 1 by det A.
1 by det A.
Is it okay?
Yes.
So these are some of the properties on inverse. Okay. So I'll stop the class with this. Okay. So these are all some review concepts on matrices. Okay, we have discussed some types of matrices, some operations on matrices. Again, some types of square matrices, some operations on square matrices. So in next class, I'll be discussing about row operations followed by rank of a matrix. Okay, so don't absent for that class. That is very important. Okay, so just to stay back. Let me take the attendance.